Hey guys, and welcome to Rosemary 2. In the following video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to use the page builder with your Rosemary 2 theme. So it's really simple to create pages. So let's go ahead over to the pages section and we're going to click add new. And as always, we are going to add the title. And if you want to add any text, you could add it here, but I don't think it's going to be relevant using our page builder. So add the title, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to have this layout section. So this is what you get with Flothemes. We created a layout section that is the block builder, and it's going to let you create pages using the different blocks or templates with your theme. So it's really useful. So let's have a look first at templates. And it's really simple to use templates, and we have some of the templates or pages from the demo here, and you can select any of these pages and it will basically add all the blocks to the layout section, and then you can start modifying it. So for example, maybe you wanted to use about type A. It will show a preview here on the right, so you can see the different blocks that are added here. I'm just going to apply this template, hit OK. And that's going to add it to the layout section. Now you don't necessarily need to use a template. You can actually start from fresh by just going to the layout section. It will have a header placeholder, a footer placeholder, and a title block, most likely. And then you can just start adding the different blocks to the page that you want. So right now I'm just going to show you how you can edit any blocks, and it's really simple. So first of all, you can drag and drop blocks into any position by just grabbing it and dragging it up into position. You can then edit any block by hitting this little pencil icon. And inside of the blocks, you'll have an image at the very top, and it will explain what that is. So there's, for example, A1 is the image column, A2 is the text column. Then you just come down to the corresponding areas below and just start choosing the settings. So for example, do I want 2 columns or 3 columns? You can choose that, the gap between it. And then anywhere that you see this plus icon, you can add elements to, whether that's adding a row, adding an image, adding a link. There's lots of options for that. And here you can choose an image column or a text column. And then of course the settings will change based on the option that you choose. So this part has a decorative icon. If I wanted to use a decorative icon, I could add that as well. And you should use a PNG file for any decorative icons. Just update the text. Then the second column would be an image one. It doesn't have to be, it can be text as well. Again, just choose an image for that. Let's see if we can get one that will fit. Like so. And you can add a second column as well, or a third column, sorry. So here, if you wanted 3 columns, and then we would of course want to select the 3 column option up here to make that work. I'm just going to remove the row for now. In some of the areas, you will also have these little switches, and that could be for turning on a specific setting. It could be to enable an option for colors, for example. In this case, it's an element color, so if I want to change the color, I enable this block, choose the color options from here, and it is a hex editor, so you can choose from any color value that you want. Same with background color, you can do that also. You'll also notice that there are font styling options as well. So basically, the font styling options allow you to select a specific style for whatever the label is. So here it's a title font for this specific block. So you can use one of the styles from the typography area that we're already set up with a theme and choose a specific style for that if you wanted to modify this particular block specifically. Otherwise, if you wanted to actually update this heading for example, site-wide, you would just hit this little pencil icon, and you can see more about that in the specific typography video, and it will explain that in much more detail. You can also get custom buttons for some blocks, and there's another video explaining how to use buttons as well, but you can use 2 different button types, type A or type B with the Rosemary theme. One with a background color and one that is just a piece of text. So you can choose that also. Image links as well, same principle. You would come in, choose the width, set the opacity, choose the number of columns, and then just proceed to add the different images to the page. Really nothing complicated there. Text block's the same, just text. You can have a decorative icon. Choose positioning, update the text for that also, and that's it. If you there's also this button option where you can select the link. Here you can select the link, add your URL, or alternatively add an existing page. That's also possible. You can also choose the option to open it in a new tab if you want, and of course add the title for that as well. So this could be home, and that would add a link. If you want to edit it, just click the pencil. If you want to remove it, hit the X. Very, very simple and nothing complicated about that also. Let's talk about a couple of important blocks that may be more complicated and not as simple to use. So we have a listing block. So let's go to the listing block real quick here. And basically, if you're adding blocks, so I'll actually start with that. Adding blocks is also really simple. You can click add a block, and then you have a whole array of blocks here with the Rosemary theme. There are a lot inside of this theme. You can check them out for yourself, but we have title blocks, buttons, footer placeholders, contact form blocks if you want to add contact forms, FAQ blocks for frequently asked questions, featured links, so that can be links to publications and posts. We have a few of those. Info block, that can be image text, for example. A title block, some different text blocks, some with columns. Dividers, some image blocks, and again, these could be image and text here also. Image links, so different styles of images, and then links to different things as well, publications. Listing blocks, this is the actual blog post or gallery listing block where you can display your posts or galleries, so it's sort of a unique block and it allows you to create your blog pages. And the pagination block is for that also, so it adds the previous and next to the page. You also have an infinite scroll option for the pagination. For example, if you wanted to create a listing page for your blog and you wanted to add, for example, 6 as standard and then a load more, you would just add the load more, the pagination, just below the listing block. Pricing blocks, you have a few of those. Press blocks if you want to add some links to different publications. Slideshows, I'll also show you how to use those. Testimonials, again, great for social proof. Travel dates, can be used for a few different things actually, you don't need to use it specifically for that. And some video blocks here also. So lots and lots of options inside of the theme. I'll show you the listing block really quickly so you can see how that looks. We do have an actual video on how to set up a blog page and the listing block is used. But a listing block, you again hit edit, you choose galleries or posts. You can also choose specific categories if you wanted to only show certain categories. You can choose the number of items per page. Again, that depends what listing block you use. They should have, and they may not have a specific tab, but if they do, there will also be some options for that as well. For example, columns, spacing between gaps, but that's only for specific blocks. Some will be only single list items, so you won't have this specific tab with more details. If you do, you'll also have the option to remove the category and remove the date. So if you want to turn the date off, turn this off, and the same with the category, just turn it off. So a couple of options there, and it's one that's quite commonly asked. How do I turn off the date? It's in the specific tab in your listing block. Some of them will also have a mobile option for the gaps between the items. Also, another note about blocks, and this is for all blocks, you have the option to add margin top and margin bottom. So, or actually to reduce the margin as well. So if you want to increase the spacing between two blocks, increase the margin at the top and increase the margin at the bottom if you want to increase it at the top and bottom. Or you can reduce the margins between the block above and the block below by reducing the margins here. And you also have the option to do that on mobile separately. Miscellaneous tab, you can hide the blocks on desktop, hide the blocks on mobile, So maybe you wanted to add one block for desktop only, one block for mobile only, you can do that as well. You also have the option for block IDs and block classes. So this is more advanced than for developers, but you can add an ID to this specific block to make it easier to target and then style. The same with classes. You also have the option for a background color if you want to set a specific background color for this specific block with this theme. So just enable the option, choose the background color, and that will add the background color to this block. So pretty useful one for the Miscellaneous tab. And that's it for the pages. I'm going to look at one more block here, just the slideshow, just so you can see it. Again, we do cover it in the slideshow video. Adding a slideshow to a page, of course, really simple. Just go ahead and click add the slideshow block, drag and drop it into position. If you wanted to move it to the very top, you can hit this little icon here to move to top. So I've moved this one to the very top of the page. In this case, I wouldn't need the header because I'm going to use a header over my slideshow. Edit the slideshow. Yes, I want to display the header. Do I want a custom layout? Yes or no? And if you do, you can choose that option. Select the slideshow. Choose the different settings. Some of them may have specific heights, some may be full screen. Some might have an overlay, so that's a slight fade over the image so that you can see text better. Some will have static field text, which is a thing that you get with the Rosemary theme. You can add this specific static text, but it's also a video here you can watch further. Again, you have some type options here. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing too complicated about creating the pages with our theme using the block builder. It's just a matter of testing it, setting up a test page, adding some blocks, and just seeing how they work. And that's pretty much it, folks. That's how you create pages with your Rosemary 2 theme.